Okay, a special day. Do not drink any fermented drink, like, you know, don't get on the booze. Grape, you know, strong grape drink and get wasted, you know. So you probably forget, oh, it's a special day. You can't do it anyway. And do not eat anything of leaven, no you know, yeast in it or anything like that. Okay. Nor let it be seen in your houses from the 14th day. So you couldn't have that bread with yeast in it in your house. Okay, from the 14th day of Nisan at sunset, when the sun goes down, until the 21st day of Nisan sunset, right? Because then you go bring it back in and you can eat it, or make it and eat it, right, on that particular day. Until then you can't have it in your house, right? Okay. Yeah. And bring into your chambers any leaven which you have in your houses, and seal them up during these days. Okay, to my brother Jedediah and his colleagues, the Jewish garrison, your brother Hananiah on PM. So it's basically pin, whatever his name is. So you basically taking that leaven bread and you're putting it, because it probably might go a little hard or something like that, you know, or maybe keep its softness, perplexity, whatever, flexibility. So you're putting it somewhere else until a certain amount of time, right? And you go back and you get it and you eat it as normal, right? You just can't bring it in your house and eat it on that day, something along those lines. Okay. And there's more information here. To my lords Jedediah, Mosiah, Uriah, probably off the Bible, and garrison, etc. May all the gods seek after the welfare of my lords, all times, blah blah blah. We have, since the Egyptians give them a bribe, they've given them a bribe. Okay, one Zivak has complained to an investigator. We have, since the Egyptians, given them a bribe, and from the time that of the Egyptians before Asamis, but actively, yeah, maybe deceptively or something like that. Yeah, afraid because they're short of two apparently. Pasu, son of Manuki, came to Memphis and the investigator, and he gave him silver, etc. He's happy with it. Hori gave me when they detained him because of the picture. Maybe he stole something. I'm not really sure. This is a junk type thing, isn't it? Turi said, I said, at the order of the king, and they detained him, and the damage of Asamis and the compensation of Siwi, Siha, and Hori whom they detained. Maybe they stole something, broke in and stole something from somewhere else. Okay. And he continues on. To my lords Jedediah, Uriah, and the priest of Yahweh the God, Matan, son of Jashobuah, etc., etc. Now behold, they are coming there to you. Look after them, or somebody. Oh, here we go. And now when Vedrunga, the garrison commander, arrived at Abydos, he imprisoned me because of one dyer's stone which they found stolen in the hand of the merchants. Finally, Siha and Hor, servants of Anani, intervened with Vedrunga and Hornufi with the help of the God of heaven until they rescued me. Yeah, because this guys are all evil. So and so. They're all nasty. Didn't like them. Wanted the temple and fortress destroyed. And then he wanted the Jerusalem one they rebuilt, and the fortress around it and the walls around it destroyed. This is the one at we'll get to that in a minute. Now behold, they are coming near to you. You look after them. There's some people sent to them, right? Okay. And so on. Okay. These women were found at the gate of Thebes in Egypt. And they were seized as prisoners, and then some wife and a couple of others and some men or something like that, because they broke into these houses. They did burglaries, trespassing, burglaries, breaking and entering, stealing goodies, and all this sort of stuff, right? So they got caught and they had to pay it back. The houses into which they had broken in at Elephantine, and they surely returned to their owners the goods which they had took or they stole. However, they mentioned to their owners silver 120 cars. That's what they pinched as well. May another decree no more be delivered to them here. Okay, so they've got their just punishment, all that sort of stuff for their crime. Yeah, the temple to Elephantine with the fortress, that nasty guy wanted to destroy that. Yeah. Okay, so he hired some Egyptian troops to go and destroy it, which they did, right, and then carried off all the goodies. You know, gold and silver and whatever was in there. What's it got here? In year 14 of King Darius, when our Lord Samus went to their king, this is the evil act which the priest of Canub, the god, did in Elephantine, the fortress, in agreement with Vidranga, who was chief here. They gave him silver and gold, or goods. There is part of the royal barley house, which is in Elephantine, the fortress. They demolished it and built a wall in the midst of the fortress of Elephantine to stop you from going there, probably, and getting all that stuff, or storing it, whatever, right? And now that wall stands built in the midst of the fortress. There is a well which was built within the fortress, and which did not lack water to give the garrison drink, so that whenever they would be garrisoned there, they would drink the water in that well. Those priests of Canub stopped up that well. They dried it up, right? Or sealed it up so you couldn't use it. If inquiry be made of the judges, police and hearers who are appointed to the province of Tishritis, it would be known to our Lord in accordance with this which they say. Moreover, we are separated. So yes, that evil Vidranga guy, or Ranga guy, was doing all this nasty stuff, right? Which are in Elephantines, must be a whole lot of people that were in there. The fortress, we increased, we was not found in, to bring meal offering, to offer there to Yahweh the God, in which but a brazier at the fittings they took and made them their own. So yeah, these Egyptians, when they invaded it and burnt it, destroyed it, they took all the goodies in there. If our Lord, much we from the garrison, if it please our Lord, etc., etc., may an order be issued. If it please our Lord, they protect the things which to build our temple, which they demolished. See, they wanted, they requested a opportunity to go and repair it after these people had damaged it. Okay, so eventually he grants it. But Gedatus, son of, came to Elephantine fortress, the force Egyptian, the names of the men who did it, whose names are written, men from us they seized and bound in chains of, maybe they took these guys prisoner and carried them off. Okay, and it continues. This thing's a bit laggy. Okay. You can get this book from archive.org, but you have to borrow it, right? You have to sign up for free, no cost, and then you can borrow certain books at your leisure if you want to read them, whatever. Right? Okay. This is a request for the letter of recommendation, first draft, November 25th, 407 BCE. Now his servants did deny, and his colleagues and the Jews, all of them citizens of Elephantine, say thus, if it please our Lord, take thought of that temple to rebuild it, since they do not let us rebuild it. This is that Vajrana guy again. Regard your obligees, or those obligated to you, and your friends who are here in Egypt. Let a letter be sent from you to them about the temple of Yahweh the God, to rebuild it in Elephantine. That's that one, the fortress, just as it was formerly built, and they will offer the meal offering and incense and the holocaust or sacrifice on the altar and praise, to God, to bless him and all that sort of stuff. In your name, King, and we shall pray for you at all times, we and our wives, etc., etc., and the Jews, all of them who are here. If they do thus until that temple be rebuilt, you will have a merit before Yahweh, the God of heaven. So add some credit to him, right? Be smiling upon him. Heaven more than a person who offers him holocaust or sacrifices, whose worth is as the worth of silver, 1,000 talents, and about gold. Because of this we have sent and informed you. Okay, doing a request from him. We moreover sent, in our name sent all these letters, these words in one letter to Delaiah and Shelemiah, sons of Sanballat, governor of Samaria. Okay, and moreover, Assyrians did not know about this, which was done on the 20th of Marshivan, year 17 of King Darius. Yeah. So they first requested that Elephantine fortress be rebuilt, and then the temple at Jerusalem. Okay. And here it is here. Request for the letter of recommendation, second draft. To our Lord Bagohi, your servant Jedaniah, the priest and his colleagues, the priests who are in Elephantine, the fortress and the Jews, all of them. May the God of heaven seek after the welfare, etc., etc. Okay, they want to know if they can rebuild this temple, Elephantine. They're asking for all these tools and equipment and food and stuff, so they can do all that, because Vidranger, this wicked so-and-so, sent a letter to Naphi, his son, who was garrison commander in Syene, the fortress, saying, let them demolish the temple of Yahweh the God, which is in Elephantine the fortress. Then that Naphi led the Egyptians with the other troops, maybe there's some mercenaries or something like that. They came to the fortress of Elephantine with their weapons, broke into the temple, demolished it to the ground, and the stone pillars which were there, they smashed them. Moreover, it happened that they demolished 5 great gateways built of hewn stone which were in their temple, and the standing doors and the bronze hinges of those doors, because these doors, maybe they've created these doors where it went inward instead of outward, something like that, and they had these hinges, because they had these hinges. They took those, okay, the bronze hinges of those doors, and the roof of that temple, all of its cedar wood, with the rest of these fittings and other things which were there. All of these they burned with fire, but the gold and silver basins and other things which were in the temple, all of these they took and made their own. Okay, they coveted them. And during the days of the kings of Egypt, our fathers had built the temple in Elephantine, the fortress, and when Cambyses entered Egypt, he found the temple built, and they overthrew the temples of the gods of the Egyptians, all of them, and one did not damage anything in that temple. And when this had been done to us, we with our wives and our children were wearing sackcloth, okay, fasting, all that sort of stuff, praying to God, yeah, etc., etc. Let's be reminded of what the Ranga did and what happened to him, that temple, right? Okay, so let's gloat over it. God paid you back, bitch. The dogs moved his fetters from his feet, and all goods which he had acquired were lost, and every person who sought evil for that temple, all of them were killed, and we gazed upon them. Yeah, they're like, good job, payback, something like that, right? Moreover, before this, at the time that this evil was done to us, we sent a letter about this. We sent to our Lord, even to Jehohanan, or whatever his name is, Hohahan, the high priest. How do you say that? Jehohanan, the high priest, and his colleagues, the priests who are in Jerusalem, and to Ostanes, the brother of Amani, so forth, so forth. Okay, year 14 of King Darius, and until this day we are wearing sackcloth and fasting, etc., etc. We do not anoint ourselves with oil and do not drink wine. Moreover, from that time and until this day, year 17 of King Darius, they do not make meal offering, incense, and holocaust or sacrifices in that temple. Yeah. Now you, the servants, Jeremiah and his colleagues, the priests of Yahweh, and the Jews of them citizens of Elephantine, say this: if it please our Lord, take thought of that temple we want to rebuild it, since they do not let us rebuild it. It's Vidranger and his buddies. Regard your obligees, those obligated friends who are here in Egypt. Let a letter be sent from you to them, like a decree, but the temple of Yahweh the God to rebuild it, and Elephantine the fortress just as it was formerly built. They want to restore it. Okay, and they'll offer the meal, the same thing, repeating it again, right? To pray to God, they get blessings with that sort of stuff for His kindness. They aim to do it, right? All that sort of stuff. Sometimes it often repeats itself. Okay, recommendation for the reconstruction of a temple after 407 BCE. Okay, it's like a decree, a memo by the king. Okay. Offer of payment for a reconstruction of the temple after 407 BCE. And it mentions here Hosea, son of Nathan, probably Nathan. Hosea, son of Jotham, etc. So it basically leads up to them requesting again of this king, Darius' son, because maybe Darius died somewhere on the way. You see him on 300 gets shot with an arrow in the eye or something. Yeah, maybe it's later Fui, maybe died some other way. Okay, petition for recreation of injustice after 434/33 BCE. Okay, and it carries on to a point where they request that they'll be allowed to go and rebuild the temple at Jerusalem and the walls around it. A few investigations because a couple of people were up to something no good or something. The leader of Asamis and his colleagues. And they eventually are requesting that they can go back and rebuild that temple in Jerusalem. Okay, going through this pretty fast. Okay. And apparently they ask him to decree that these other people stay away while they're rebuilding it. These certain people, because they probably tried to destroy it or something like that. They didn't want them there. This is great detail to these other leaders. Aramaic leaders from the Bible. Of the 8 Aramaic leaders quoted in the Bible, the 5 in the book of Ezra appear to be authentic. They are arranged in thematic order. Bad, what's that? Rahum, etc., etc. Neutral, good. Chronologically, the second pair is the earliest, around 520 BCE. And the first pair next, around 460 BCE, and this is the order in which they are arranged here in their structure, and formularily the letters bear striking resemblance to the Jeremiah letters, and particularly to the Aramaic correspondence, dealing as they do with the temple in Jerusalem. Their meaning is further enhanced by comparison with the Elephantine documents seeking reconstruction of the Jewish temple there. A4.57 to 10. The eschatological prophecy from Jeremiah is probably a citation from a letter to the exiles. A7.1. There you go. Saw there. Report on reconstruction of temple around 520 BCE. Copy of the letter which Tatanai, governor of the province of beyond the river, and Shethar, Bosanai and his colleagues, the investigators who are in the province of beyond the river, sent to King Darius. They sent him a message in such as this was written in it. To King Darius, all greetings. Let it be known to the king that we went to Judah, the province, to the temple of the great God, and it is being rebuilt of hewn stones, and wood is being put in the walls. And that work is being done in full and is succeeding at their hand. Then we asked those elders and said to them as follows: Who gave you the order to rebuild the temple and to complete the furnishing? And moreover we asked them their names, etc., etc. We are the servants of God of heaven and earth, and are rebuilding the temple which was built many years before this, and the great king of Israel built it and completed it. But when our fathers agreed the God of heaven, angered the God of heaven, he gave them into the hands of Nebuchadnezzar, Babylonian, right? Oh, Chaldean, yeah, king of Babylon, yeah, Babylonian. And he demolished this temple and exiled the people to Babylon, so they became under exile of him, right? And they weren't allowed to do their religious stuff, right? That's what they said in their song, by the rivers of Babylon, where we sat down, or knelt and we wept. We remember Babylon, right? By the rivers of Babylon, where we sat down and there we wept. We remember Zion, yes, right? Okay. King Cyrus removed from the sanctuary of Babylon and all the gold that they stole, all the temple goodies, okay, and they were given to one named Sheshbazzar, whom he had appointed governor. And he said to him, "These vessels go, deposit them in the sanctuary, which is in Jerusalem, and let the temple of God be rebuilt on its site." Yes, see, there you go. He was a tool. King Cyrus was a tool. Okay, it's Cyrus. Yeah, it's Cyrus. He was the tool used by God to allow the people to go back and build that temple in Jerusalem, so they can return to worshipping him in the correct way as he required, etc., etc.